Hi everyone, this is Alicia Smith from Alicia Smith Designs, and I have a project share for you today. I am in the Sweet Valentine's Caddy swap hosted by Anna over at Memory Decks Obsessed. And I'd love to share what I've made. These are my caddies, and we are using a mini caddy size. They're pretty much identical, so I'll just show you really quickly the outside of them. Actually, let me turn it this way so you can see the same things at the same time. My approach was to use what I have. And so my desire was to use the papers that I already have, the scraps, not to buy anything new. Now, I'm not going to tell you I didn't buy anything, but that was my intent. So I pretty much held to that. So I'll leave this one sitting here so you can see it, and then we'll open this one because they're identical. So I chose not to do a lot of outside decoration on this pocket because of all that was happening with this piece here that comes out. So I'll start with it. And I love how this turned out. I'm not really a vintage country-ish style crafter, but I had this paper that is called Vintage Valentine, and so I had it from last year and I wanted to use up most of it. And so this paper here is some gorgeous paper that a crafty friend Tess gave me in our last swap at Christmas time, and this is by Stampin' Up, and it is gorgeous. And so I sat in front of the TV, and one day I just made some page flag type things. So I didn't have anything to do with that. And then I was looking at another crafty friend. I want to say it was Tamika at Scrap the World, but somebody was doing these ruffles. And so I sat and I did those ruffles. And then another day I just took some punches and punched out some hearts and then put them all together to create this little pocket. And so if you open the pocket, it opens like this. This is a stamp and die set from Spellbinders that where I was in their small die of the month kit club a couple years ago, just building up my stash. And so I'd never used this before. So this is a new piece that I hadn't used. So I like how that came out. Then I just took some paper. I was giving part of the requirements for a sequence mix. And so that's what I put in here. This is one of those Target spots adhesives, and I just put some Velcro on here and a piece of paper to keep it closed. So I'm giving some sequins mix, and then in the middle here are die cuts. We were asked to give die cuts, and so here are my die cuts. I do want to show you a couple of these though, because again, using some new dies that I haven't used before, that I'm happy to get to share. So again, these sentiments and the little banner shape come from the same set of where I got this from, and that was a Spellbinders piece. These are new dies that I did get from KS Crafts, and so I just gifted some banners here. This is a die that I got from Natasha Polite in some Happy Mail, and I love this. It came together really cute, and I used some of that same Stampin' Up gold paper, and it just says love. And then these are just dies and pieces that I already had in my stash from dies that I already own. And this is an offset of something I was using before, and so these are just two nested dies, and this is what was left. So I'm giving those pieces. So that's what's in this little pocket, and I just stuck it here. And on my caddies, I prefer, instead of two smaller pockets, to just do one larger pocket. I'm less frustrated with trying to get things in there. On this side, using some of those hearts that I just sat in front of the television and put together. This was using a different die and that same sentiment. piecing together some paper, and then I'm just giving one of those stamps from Target that say love. On this side, again, using that Spellbinders die. And so this one, well, actually, let me start from the outside. So I put together some charms here, as you can see, and then I have a die that I just put away. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. Okay, so these are the dies I was referring to from the clear Stampin' Die of the Month last year, I think it was. Yes, January of 2022. So I finally got to bust these out, and I was able to create this set here. This is really pretty. A little bit more paper piecing than I generally like to do, but turned out really cute. And then I took out my fuse tool, again, trying to use the things that I already have to, you know, incorporate into my crafting. So I did use the fuse tool, made a little pocket here, and these are little die cut charms that I have in my stash. Okay, trying to adjust this glare, but I just picked these up on clearance at a local craft shop, and they're little love charms, and so I put them together to make these little charms. Hopefully we can deal with the glare a little bit so you can kind of see those. They turned out cute. And then this is one of those charms as well, putting together the little pieces. And I popped the little bow that goes with it onto some foam, and that made a really cute charm. So I'm giving those. And then I made a little box. I saw this. Who was that? Another crafter was demonstrating a die that has just come out. I think it was a Honeybee Stamps die. Was it Nicole Spore? Maybe Nicole Spore. And I was like, I think I can make that. And so I did. And I just pulled that little knot out, unfortunately. But nevertheless, we can put that back. And I just used it to house one of my little shaker dies. There we go. And put some stuff in there. Put a little eyelet hole in there, and I thought it turned out cute. So that's in one of the pockets. And then going inside here, I'm, again, more of those little banners that I made just using scraps. And actually the paper pad, again, that I'm using is here. It's called Vintage Valentine. And I just wanted to use it up, and so I'm on my way. It's not quite done yet, but I just put it on a doily, put some vellum on here, and I'm giving some of these little parts that I got last year, I think from Target, giving that stuff away, using what you have. We were also required to make a Memory-Dex card, because it's not Anna if we don't have Memory-Dex cards. So I just duplicated this design. And to make this, again, I'm using the Love Sentiment. If I can find it quickly, I'll show you. I pulled some of these out. I don't think I have it here. But Natasha gave me this die. Used that here. Used these little ruffles that I just got from KS Craft. Take it out of there. So it's sitting on a ruffle. Some die cuts that were in my stash. This little hello that Natasha gave me also. And you can kind of see how it's sitting up on top of some foam dots. And then these hearts, these are layered hearts that come from this set here. This is a Tonic Studios that I got from Tuesday Morning about 3 years ago, and layered them up and then put some bling on them and using the paper, and that's how they came out. I thought they were cute. And then I made a series of embellishments. These are those ice cream cones, and I just put them together and just put them on a plain white piece of paper and doodled around it. And then these, we needed to include some plain rosettes. And so these are my rosettes. And this is a KS Craft die also. Oh, here they are. Using these little hearts. It took me a second to figure out how to put them together, but they turned out pretty good. And then I made some 3x3 cards that my partners can use in their, I'm sorry that it's glaring, but that they can use in their stash. And it has an interesting heartbeat cutout. And that is from this die, and here it is, from a Tim Holtz die that I got a couple years ago. So it cuts that out. And so everybody got some 3x3 cards. And then more of these bows. Again, I am in love with my new bow punch that I got from eBay from a Stampin' Up! From several years ago. So I made some bows. And then I got this idea somewhere on, I want to say it was either Crafty Nat Armstrong or one of my other crafty friends. I can't think of it. But just giving some beads this way, it kind of looks like some candy. I thought it was a cute idea, simple to do. And then I have this die. It's a Spellbinders die that makes a small pillow box. And so I made this, again, using just scraps that I had, punch out some hearts, and that's it. And then I just put a thumb notch on here. And then inside are all kinds of little trinkets, right? So I've got this die, which again is another KS Crafts die for the little candies. I've done some wax seals. I bought this. I was in love with this die a couple years ago. And you know how you buy stuff and you're like, I love that. I've got to have it. And you never use it. So I finally busted it out once I found it. And just created some of these little coins that my recipients, my partners can use to decorate. And then you probably have seen these. I just took 2 nested dies from this set, the smaller ones, and made them shakers. And then again, more wax seals. So that's what's in there. And then we've just got some candy, and I'm going to put some shred in the bottom. Oh, and I also made a dangle. So I made a couple of these, just using beads that are in buttons that are in my stash. And I think it came out cute. On the bottom, I've got some flatback pearls-ish type stuff, flatback bling. There we go. I'm trying to get it so y'all can see it on the bottom. And that concludes my project reveal. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope my swap partners enjoy it. And happy Valentine's Day. Thanks.